Hello, welcome to yet another edition of This Day That Year, and I'm extremely thrilled to present you with a detailed session about the movie Sholay as it completes 50 years of its release. It was released exactly 50 years ago on the 15th of August 1975. So now we have come a long way. 50 years is a long period, and some of those stalwarts who were part of the movie are no more there. But the movie is an everlasting one. It's a legendary movie. It's a milestone movie. It's a movie that everyone is proud of associated with, especially the people who grew up in the 60s and 70s, who saw the making of it and how it went on for a fair amount of time. It took it was the longest time ever, of course, leave alone the movies like Pakiza, which had a start and stop. After Sippy, this was under the banner of Sippy Films, GP Sippis, and his son Ramesh Sippy, who took over from Andaz in 1971, followed it with Sita Aur Geeta in 1972. Then he took 2.5+ years to come up with Sholay. So it is one of those longest time-consuming movies, we can say, which was really a huge hit. Of course, it did have its unpleasant surprises in the beginning of the release. So let me just take you back in time, 50 years. 15th August was a Friday, so 11th August was the Monday. The advance booking counters opened those days on 11th of August. Every Monday it used to open. So now it was on 11th, and the news around in Bombay at that time was that Sholay is 70 first 70 movie. It's not exactly the first because Around the World had already come, which was a 70 movie. Uh, but Sholay was 70 stereophonic, and all the high-end technology was used at that time. So we were given to understand that only 2 or 3 prints of 70 were available, and one of them was going to be in Chembur Basant Cinema. Right now it is not there, it's a different hall, Cubic Mall it is now. So Basant was the place where everyone, all roads led to Basant for people staying in the suburbs, because it was released in 70 in Minerva, the pride of Maharashtra, which opened in 1972 with Lal Patthar on 31st of March. And it went on, and now Sholay was released in Minerva. It did a fabulous business, though initially it was a little tough, but tickets were not easily available all the same. But the reports that came out after the first couple of days, it was not very encouraging. It was a little bit of a shocker, but the movie picked up after that, and then there was no looking back. So getting the advance booking tickets, we realized that one of our close friends took the initiative. I call him Bedi, is Balakrishna Narayan. He actually took the initiative of doing the tickets in advance. So he realized on reaching Basant it was a non-starter, and it was clearly mentioned at the theater that it is going to be 35 So he didn't waste any more time looking for options there. He straight away moved to Sahakar, Chembur, Amar Mahal, and then managed to book tickets for the 5:30 p.m. show for 5 of us, all 5 friends from our building. We had decided to go on the first day. We wanted to see the first show, but then what we could get was only the second show, 5:30 p.m. show. So, but the funny part is when we went to see the movie at Sahakar, we reached in good time, 5:15 we were at the hall, but the previous show had not yet ended. And by the time it ended, it was around 6:45 and our show was at 5:30. And then we started going in, there was a huge crowd, and then we just about managed to go and sit and park ourselves. But the movie wouldn't start. It was at 7 the movie started. So 5:30 p.m. movie started at 7. So there was a delay. That was because enough prints were not there. 3 or 4 cinema halls were actually sharing the prints. So that was something which we were not used to. So, but once the movie started at 7, It went on. I think the first reel went on without any problem. Then somehow there was a break of 5 minutes, and then eventually the movie ended only at 11 at night, and we had a challenge returning home, and there were worried parents at home, and all that apart. And if I see that the last show, which should have started at 9:15, was going to start only at 11:30. So imagine what would have happened to the people who saw the night show. So that was the way the entire, the hype was there for the movie, how it is going to be there, how it will be, what kind of a 70 movie, stereophonic sound system, it's going to be something fascinating. Yes, fascinating it was, no doubt. And as the movie started, we could hear the background tune, the title music. So that was a very interesting background music which was there throughout the title, and something new. The cast, of course, we all know, very little to talk about. Of course, Dharmender, Sanjeev Kumar, Amitabh Bachchan, Hema Malini, Jaya Badri, and above all, are introducing Amjad Khan, the giant's son. That is how he was introduced at that time. And the moment Amjad Khan came on screen, I was taken aback. I said, ये आवाज क्यों ऐसा है? कितने आदमी थे? And I was thinking कि ये आवाज भारी भड़कम आवाज है. We are used to Amitabh having that sound, I mean that baritone voice, and that was not there. ये कैसे चलेगा? Initial thought. But there was something attractive about this guy. The way he was dressed, he was not wearing a dhoti and a kurta like a typical Daku with a tika on top on his forehead. No, he was wearing some kind of a green military kind of a dress, and he had that. He used to remove from his pocket a small cloth bag with that contained tobacco, and he used to chew tobacco. So this was something different, and what immediately struck was, "Arey ho Samba." So the moment he has his right hand man, the go-to man or whatever we can say, Samba, who's sitting on top of the hill, and the entire set was created in the outskirts of Bangalore, Namma Bangalore. So that was something which took us by surprise, and in fact, he was a second option for the producer because he was looking at Danny Danzongpa to play that role. But Danny was stuck with Dharmatma, and he was in Afghanistan with Firoz Khan. But he missed it. But then that was the gain of Amjad. One man's food is another man's poison, they say. So, and this movie had a lot of violence, so much so that the movie had a different ending. The original ending was different, and what we got to see was a different end where the Gabbar Singh was again back to the prison, but original Sanjeev Kumar manages to finish him off, and that particular part is all available on YouTube for everyone to see. And not only that, the movie also made money by releasing cassettes, audio cassettes of 56 minutes covering the entire movie, right from the title and all the important packages. So the 200 plus minutes movie has been compressed into 56-minute cassette, and that too was selling like hotcakes everywhere. You could listen to the dialogues even in the Ganesh Chaturthi, during the Ganesh Chaturthi pandals. We used to listen to this, but besides the songs, even Gabbar cassettes were going big time. So that was fascinating as far as I'm concerned. This entire place was created, Ramnagar, which was called the place these people, Ramgad ke Vasi. So all these people who were staying in Ramgad, it was an entire village part was created by Sippi and Co. So that took the time for all the movie to be prolonged for so long, and that was something which is amazing. The other interesting part was that uh, besides Danny and Amjad Khan and Dharmender was very, very particular those days to only play hero roles, though he was offered Sanjeev Kumar's role, as I am told. But he was, wooing Hema Malini those days. So it was very important for him to spend as much time with Hema Malini. So he used to bribe the spot boys and light men and all so that, there were more retakes of the romantic scenes. This is what we have been told. So at the same time, during the course of the movie, Jaya Badri went through two pregnancies and delivery and so on and so forth. And Jagdeep had a role of Surma Bhopali. That character was something brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then he had picked it up from someone who had met, and the way he spoke, Surma Bhopali, the way he used to speak, it was something different. यहाँ तुम्हें क्या जरूरत हमारा नाम भी सूरमा भोपाली है नहीं है. He had a typical way of speaking, and then ₹2 में जंगल खरीदोगे. The kind of dialogues that he had were simply brilliant. And not to forget the contribution of people like A.K. Hangal. He had a role. He played the role of old Muslim person in their village. So, and his grandson, I think, was played by Sachin. Sachin had a dual role in this movie, by the way. Sachin was not only an actor, he was also assisting Sippy as a director, Ramesh Sippy. So he had a dual role. So it was something. कैसे बोझ नहीं उठा सकते, दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा बोझ तो ये है कि बाप के कंधों पर बेटे का जनाजा. This is what A.K. Hangal had to tell when the Gaon wale felt that it is time for these two people to go. We can at least live in peace because of these two people डाकू बार बार आ जाते हैं and so on and so forth. But the way Amjad Khan's introduction happened, कितने आदमी थे सरदार? 2 आदमी थे. 2 आदमी, सुअर के बच्चों, वो 2 थे और तुम 3, फिर भी वापस आ गए खाली हाथ. क्या समझ कर आए थे? सरदार बहुत खुश होगा, शाबाशी देगा. क्यों? धिक्कार है. My God, it was scary. People were really wondering what's happening, how this gentleman pitted against big heroes like Sanjeev Kumar, Dharmender, Amitabh, and he's making an impact. Amjad Khan he truly arrived. Though he was there in Hindustan Ki Kasam he had a small role. Prior to that, he had also acted as a child artist. But his face never changed. Unfortunate that he didn't live long enough. So by the time we got to see Sholay on 70mm screen at Minerva Cinema, it was well into its 100 days, past 100 days. And before that, I had actually seen the movie 10 times in different cinema halls. So Sholay is a milestone movie. We cannot ever ignore any of the characters. The characterizations were beautiful. Leela Mishra, the way A.K. Hangal, Kesto Mukherjee, Asrani, all of them had small roles, but each one played a character that had a lasting impact on each one of us. So much so, even today, after 50 years, whenever the movie comes on screen, on TV, it's still gripping you. The fight scenes, the train scene, like Sanjeev Kumar testing these two people out as to whether they are still capable. या वक्त के दिमग ने इनके बाजुओं को खोखला बना दिया है. This is what he wanted to test. So these are the things that 200 plus minutes of non-stop. Jaya Badri played such a subdued role while Hema Malini was a chatterbox on one side. But Jaya Badri, prior to getting married, when the holy sequence was shown, when She is running after that Ghoda and Ghoda Gadi and Iftikhar and all those people are shown. She's so much bubbly. She's full of energy. Holi hai bhai, holi hai, bura na mano, holi hai. This is what she shouts and runs and all over. And finally, you see, she'll switch off all the lights in her bungalow and walk down. And the very look of Amitabh and Jaya, the chemistry, it is, the love was so clean. It is love sublime. It was so the way they were, and whereas Chichorapan was there with Dharampaji, the way he went on top of that water tank and let Chakki pissing and pissing and pissing, and finally when Basanti agrees, what he says is, बसंती भी तैयार मौसी भी तैयार तो मरना cancel. And he starts coming down and he struggles to come down because he is drunk. So all in all, this is one perfect movie which has everything that is expected of it. And it ran and ran and ran, and the stereophonic sound system had such an impact. When that both sided coin was thrown up, it felt in the cinema hall that, oh, it felt somewhere near us, near our seat, and we were looking like that. That is the impact of this stereophonic sound, which was new then. And eventually Dharmender loses his good friend Jay and Viru as they were on the screen. I really don't want to go through each character what they did, because you all know it, all of you have seen it. So just that I wanted to celebrate the 50 years of Sholay by reliving in a very, very small way my humble tribute to such a beautiful milestone movie. So thank you very much. Happy Independence Day. And there are two other movies I will be talking about which were released in 1969 on 15th of August. One is Chanda or Bijli and the other one is Badi Didi, which I will cover in the coming time before the day ends. Thank you very much. All the very best. Enjoy Sholay. Enjoy the Independence Day. Thank you.